basically, as I had mentioned, there was not much work that I had to do when I was working with the legends, and also I've always noticed this through my career in the music industry for the last my professional career in the music industry for the last 25 years now, that people who are legends and people who are extremely good at what they do not have an ego problem, you know. Because people say that how is it dealing with this artist, how is it dealing with that artist. So the thing is that none of these people had even the slightest hint of an ego problem or whatever. But anyway, for me, it's always been that whenever I go into a studio, I try not, especially when it is an artist of their caliber, I try not to go very planned into a studio. I go with the basic framework of what I want to achieve right at the end of it. And then what I do is that I let the musician perform and record in their own style, so that they take the they take the composition and they take the music to a whole new level, a level which I myself in my primitive brain cannot imagine. And that's exactly what happened over here when Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia came in and he started playing the flute. There was no possible direction that I could give him because he had already exceeded my expectations of what this recording was going to sound like, and I already had very high expectations with him. It's the same with Rahul Sharma. When Rahul walked in, it's the first time I ever met him, first time I recorded with him, and same thing, he just set up his santoor, we set up the microphones, he started recording, and the first few notes itself I realized that wow, this is magic. You know, this is pure magic, and the more direction I give to these artists, with every direction I give these artists, the worse the track will become, you know. So that is how it is, you know. Like, so basically I should just keep my mouth shut and let them do whatever they are doing, and let me just capture everything. So my purpose is just to capture everything that they're doing, and then later on post-produce it. That is what my job was to do with this thing.
Hello, yeah. Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You made us proud by doing this, and again in the Guinness Book of World Record.
Thank you.
So my question is, you dealt with all the legends. That was, okay, I can say easy job for you. But what about the kids, 14,000 kids? How you did, and what things came in your life, like what all things you have faced? Because they all are like students.
So the thing is that recording with the kids and getting the kids to sing whatever I needed them to sing, that was the very simple part. Because the kids are amazing, they're very, very disciplined, and they're very enthusiastic. So there was absolutely no problem. The problem was the planning, the logistics, setting up that stage, because if you saw that image, we had like a cross-shaped stage. So because there were 14,000 of them. So how do I stay as close to as many of the kids at the same time as possible? So the way to do it was to build a stage which was in the shape of a cross, so I could walk, like, you know, in between the kids, and like, you know, and I could give them instruction, and you know, and I could be as close to them as possible. So that was one thing. Second thing is that it was raining on the day. So that was like in the National Anthem video, and I'm going to play it back again. You'll notice that there were some raindrops in the video simply because it was raining on the day. But the kids, they were extremely enthusiastic, and they just braved it through the rain, and they recorded the National Anthem. And the thing about recording the National Anthem is that you cannot sit down in a relaxed manner and, you know, and sing it and record. Every time you're recording the National Anthem, you have to be standing up straight, at attention. So if it was any other song, we could have just got the kids to sit down in a relaxed way and, like, you know, and sing it. But in this case, that was not the case. And the kids also did not want to be relaxed. They wanted to be standing at attention and as steadfast as possible. And it's a testimony to the education that is available in KISS, you know, in Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences. The education is such high quality that, you know, the kids are so disciplined, they are so enthusiastic, and they want to give their best to everything that they possibly can do. And that's what I saw in over here. So yeah, so the logistical parts were the difficult things, and the planning and figuring out how we're going to do this, how we're going to do that, because nobody's ever recorded 14,000 people before. Nobody's ever done a singing lesson for 14,000 people before. People have only done less than half of that, or even much lesser than that. So all of this was completely new things that we had to figure out, and we had to figure out new methods of actually carrying this out, and that was the difficult part. But the kids were not at all difficult. That was the easiest part.
I want to know, talk about Samantha sir. So sir, want to know the collaboration with sir that you did, and first of all, very great job you are doing that, you know, Odisha giving all the tribals all the education free of cost. So how came in your mind to support, or whatever you can say, collaboration?
You say, I have already told that Mr. Ricky KG is associated with our all works, activities, Kid Kiss, myself for the last so many years. He has already told he visits our place several times. So he has become a family member. And we all know, we all are great fan of Ricky KG. The 3-time Grammy awardee, great celebrity, music composer, everything. So our children are very much enthusiastic and interested to participate in this program under his leadership. So that has happened. As he has already told, we have been 40,000 children. Really they are just like diamond. They are very disciplined, very nice. They are getting decent life with quality education and everything in one place from standard 1 to doctoral program. That's why I told KISS is a school, college and university. So as children are very much interested and Ricky's leadership itself speaks a lot of things. As he has told already, I was there present, how it was raining, just drilling. So it was raining slightly, but children are very calm and quiet and disciplined. That's why it is possible. And KISS has got many good things. It is 5th time Guinness World Record. And many good things, UN status, UNESCO International Literacy Prize, and now 15 students from both KIT and KISS participating in the Paris Olympic now going on. So we are too good in many aspects, which has attracted Ricky Cage to shoot this national anthem of India for this season with these children. Thank you.
Hi on YouTube.
We are going to play it again, right?
So I just had one question. Obviously, when you any composer, any singer decides to do a rendition of the national anthem, are there kind of certain protocols laid out by the government which has to be followed? Can you talk about that? And also, I don't know, when you do that, do you also encounter a certain bureaucracy?
So there are no guidelines laid down by the government, but the constitution says that the portion of the national anthem, starting from Jana Gana Mana till Jaya, till the last Jaya, it has to be 52 seconds. So that is something that is in the constitution. But it's not a hard and fast rule. You can interpret it in your own way. Like for example, there have been versions which have stretched it, made it longer, and and there are versions which are 1 minute and 20 seconds and 1 minute and 30 seconds. But the thing is that the constitution has mentioned 52 seconds for a reason. That when you are asking people to stand up, you cannot test people's patience. So the thing is that if you make it in 52 seconds, number one is that people will stand up for the right amount of time. Second thing is that the national anthem has to be of a certain speed to sound like an anthem. Because if you stretch it very long, then it becomes like a very emotional song or whatever. But if it's an anthem, it has to be of a certain speed. So if you do the whole thing in 52 seconds, then it will be of the correct speed where it sounds like an anthem. So that is something that I followed very strongly. Of course, there is an introduction to the anthem. Like right now, there's music, and you'll see it right now. That there's music as an intro, and it leads into the national anthem. So that is about 40-45 seconds. I've done that, and then the anthem. And the reason why I've put that introduction is that it sounds good to lead into the national anthem with some background music-ish kind of stuff, and at the same time, it gives people enough time to understand that the anthem is going to start, and it gives enough time for people to stand up. So that is the idea. But there are no hard and fast rules about it. But we, as citizens, it is our fundamental duties to respect the national anthem in the best possible way. So it is my duty that if I am making a version of the national anthem, I have to present that version and create that version with utmost respect to the national anthem, and to ensure that to ensure that it is loved by the country and it serves its purpose of bringing everybody together.
Just a second question. You are someone who's obviously based out of India, and I can't recall the exact time, but it reminded me like more than a decade ago where the government had stipulated of playing of national anthems in cinema halls. So back then obviously there was difference of opinion. As someone obviously who's based outside of India and who experiences a different thing while entering a cinema hall in the US. So I just wanted your perspective on this whole thing.
I'm actually based in India. I'm based in Bangalore.
Okay.
So that's, of course, I travel a lot, but my home is Bangalore. And I always say this, that even though I travel a lot, my home has been Bangalore for the last, now, how many years? 38 years. So I've been educated in India, I've been educated in Bangalore, everything has been in Bangalore. And now that I travel a lot, people ask me that, are you based abroad? Then I'm like, no, my dogs are in in my home in Bangalore, and you can travel with your family everywhere, but where your dogs are, that is where your home is, you know. So my dogs are in Bangalore, so that is my home. So anyway, but to answer your question, I'll answer it anyway. I feel that the national anthem in cinema is a good idea, simply because I believe that the national anthem, especially like all over the world, national anthems come with a certain degree of controversy. Some people say that we like it. Some people say we don't like it. Some people say that it's we should change the national anthem. Some countries barely have a national anthem. Some countries have national anthem in multiple languages and they're not sure which one's the official one. In India, the national anthem is a zero controversy piece of music, where as soon as you listen to the first few notes of the national anthem, you immediately are compelled to stand up, or that is, if you can physically stand up, you're compelled to stand up, and you're compelled to respect the national anthem. And not only that, it also evokes a sense of pride of our country and a pride of our belonging. So I believe that it's a very, very powerful tune, and it's good to be reminded of that. Especially if you're going to an entertainment venue, I think it's good to be reminded of that. And the best place to play the national anthem is a theatre, because if you're playing it, let's say on radio, you do not know how people are listening to it, because people could be listening to it in the car, and you can't stand up in a car, right? And people could be listening to it when they are in the shower, or people could be listening to it, while they're relaxing, or when they're extremely tired or whatever. But in a movie theatre, it is a captive audience. It is an audience which is, all of them are facing one particular screen. Everybody are assembled over there, and usually nobody is sleepy before the movie starts.
Yeah.
So basically everything is absolutely apt for the playback of a national anthem, and the sound system is amazing. So you've got a great sound system, you've got a great screen, so everything is absolutely apt for you to play the national anthem, and it's the best place to inspire people to remember that they have a country to serve.
Just one last thing, all these years of my life, starting from school, we all have obviously, sung the national anthem, but I don't know how many of us have bothered really to check, the values behind it and the meaning. So you think, is there a need, because the language is such which obviously we don't use in our day-to-day life now, and is there a need for, us to understand each and every word behind the national
anthem? The very fact that I've created an instrumental version of our national anthem shows that, that you just need the feel of the national anthem. You actually don't need to go into every single nitty-gritty of every single word and all of that. Even though I think it adds a lot of value if you do that. I think it adds a lot of value if you know the meaning and if you get into the meaning of everything, which I have done. But the thing is that even if you do not, just the melody of it is good enough for you to evoke a sense of gratitude towards your country and a sense of duty towards your country.
Thank you.
Hi. Yeah, hi Rick. Congratulations for this, first of all. This looks absolutely marvelous.
Thank you.
And my question to you is that this is so endearing and this is so nice to, firstly I would like to tell everybody that, freedom did not come for free. So, and making such a beautiful radiation of national anthem. When did this idea come into your mind that I'll get all the legends all together and I'm going to have 14,000 kids singing it? When did this idea come into your head? So this is amazing.
I mentioned to you earlier about the whole story about how it came across that, so I'll just repeat it in bullet points. So last year I'd done the orchestral version, and then this year I decided that, after listening to that multiple times, that we have to get the Indian soul into it. So that is the reason why we got the best musicians in India to be a part of this. And then after that, inspired by the institute, because I visited the institute, that is Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences, so many times, that it just inspired me that I have to do something with the kids over here. I have to do a music class, and then, that has to culminate in them recording the national anthem. And that's how it was, so basically that. So it wasn't like a sudden aha moment where I thought we have to do all of this. It was a slow progression, and it was a slow evolution into becoming what it is right now.
Hi. हेलो माय क्वेश्चन इज टू यू इज कि ये डिजाइनिंग कैसे हुई कि ये ट्रैक जो रहेगा इसमें मुझे ये इंस्ट्रूमेंटलिस्ट चाहिए, बिकॉज यू हैव वर्क विद ऑल द लिविंग लेजेंड्स ऑफ इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक, बट उन लेजेंड्स को पर्टिकुलर स्पेस देना और साथ ही साथ उन 14,000 बच्चों को भी स्पेस देना और 52 सेकंड में इसको रैप अप भी करना.
Correct, that was a challenge for sure. So now when it came to the legends, I'll start with that. All the legends played the whole song.
Okay.
So when I went to Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasa, he played the whole song. Same thing with Rakesh ji, same thing with Aman and Ayan ji, same thing with Jayanti ji. Everybody played the whole song. And then what happens is that I had to sit down in the studio, and of course the children, they are singing in the background throughout.
Okay, that you have recorded on that live performance?
On the live, yeah. Whatever you see the visuals, that was the recording of it.
Okay.
So that was so children are singing throughout. That we recorded in the stadium. So that was not a challenge because they were singing throughout, and I had to score the parts. I had to figure out what notes they're going to be singing at what point in time. Now when it came to the legendary musicians, so we had all of them record the whole anthem. Then I sat in my studio and I selected which parts are sounding good where, and just on the basis of the sound I did that. But to answer your question properly, on the 20th or the 25th, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be releasing videos, individual videos of each artist. So we're going to be releasing a video with Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia playing the whole national anthem. Then we're going to be releasing a video of Aman and Ayan performing the whole national anthem. So each of these legends that you see, there's going to be a different version with each of them. So you'll be able to hear them rather than playing that one small part. You'll be hearing them playing the entire anthem.
Mr. Ricky, talking about legends, can we to your left, sir? Can we expect a hat-trick next year? More and more legends, also we can connect Bollywood or Hollywood because you are doing good things in abroad and now in India also. So can we expect that kind of thing, especially for all the audience over here?
Like what do you mean?
A collaboration with the legends. I mean, not just singers, musicians, but actors coming along. In the 90s, we used to see this thing on the TV that everyone is coming together, all the legendary actors. Then they are doing something.
Yeah. No, I guess it will have to evolve. That is the whole thing. Because right now it's difficult to answer that question. Like for example, Mile Sur Mera Tumhara. I grew up listening to that particular song, and that song every time it starts playing, I get very emotional when I watch it. But then in today's time, I mean, I may be saying something very controversial, but in today's time, do you think something like that will work? Because people just don't have any patience anymore. People want instant gratification. People want things to fit into a reel, and having a song which is about 8 or 9 minutes long. I'll give you an example. My assistant at my studio, I'm not going to name him, but a 23-year-old person. So I was giving him some references for music, and I told him that, you remember Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, and he had no idea what that song was. So the thing is that the younger generation is not sensitized to that music because they listen to a different kind of music and a different style of music. So I guess short form content is what people are consuming right now. So a song which is so long and and also the things that people are getting overly sensitized to. I mean, there's I would say over-sensitization to certain things. Like for example, Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, in my opinion, is very representative. But what will happen in today's time is that somebody will get up and say that, oh, my region is not represented, or my language is not represented. Why do you have that language? So that's another problem today. That people will always find fault with something that has been created with the best of intentions. So that is why it's a very difficult question that you've asked me. So I'm just keeping my mind out right now, and I'm just trying to make sense of what I'm saying. But I'm saying that Mile Sur Mera Tumhara in today's time would be a very, very difficult thing to do.
So since this is a Guinness Book of World Record, already have done it, will this song of yours, whatever piece of yours, will be played in government channels and all, because this is something to do with the reach which we are looking at, in 140 crores of people. So how you are planning to reach those people?
So as of now, the idea is that we are giving it free for all. Nobody requires any permissions to use it at an event and all of that. So the previous version that I did last year, that is the orchestral version, a lot of schools and universities took it up across India, and they used to play it for their regular assemblies, and they used to play it for the regular events and things like that. And also, since ours is the constitutional version of 52 seconds, so it works really well for us that that people will end up using the song. So I don't have an answer to your question, but I'm hoping that what you're asking happens. That as many people, we want to encourage as many people to use this version of the national anthem as their version of the national anthem. But more importantly, for the members of the press, if you can encourage everybody for their on Independence Day, everybody puts out a message for Happy Independence Day. So if they can use this video as their message for Happy Independence Day, we would be very grateful. So if you can encourage as many people, because anyway it's coming out at 5 p.m. one day before Independence Day. So if you can encourage as many people to use this as their message for Independence Day on WhatsApp or on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, then that would be great.
What next? What next?
No, just concentrating on this right now. Thank you so much. And lastly, I wanted to tell you, very, very important. Now you saw this version of the national anthem over here. Now we've got a virtual reality version of it, where you put on your goggles and and then you can get really close to Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia when he's playing. You can there is a section in the middle, in the beginning, where you've got a note written by Sri Rabindranath Tagore, where you can go close to the note and you can see what are the instruments being used right at the end of it. You can touch the instrument, you can learn more about the instrument and things like that. It's a proper virtual reality thing. You can see the kids up close while they're singing the anthem. And that virtual reality experience is over here, right at the back. So we have the two gentlemen over there. You can just see them over there. They're waving their hands over there, the two of them. So basically go to them. They've got the Apple Vision Pro. They will put it onto your head. And it's about a 3-minute experience. You can experience that and you can see a virtual reality version of this. So I would encourage everybody to go over there and spend a few minutes and just experience it in virtual reality. Thank you so much.
Thank you.